So round number 1, what do we got, Catherine?
Guys, it is military ball season. As we hit the fall, I know the big one for the Marine Corps is the biggest one of all, but I feel like across the branches, there's all sorts of events that happen in the fall. And fundraisers.
Yes.
That is when you get suckered in. They suck when you're a kid, having to go around selling like the popcorn. I was a Girl Scout selling those cookies. It's just a pain in the ass.
Did you ever have to stand out in front of the supermarket and basically panhandle for money?
Yes, and it's the worst feeling in the world. And who would have thunk?
The Girl Scout cookies sell themselves, though.
Yeah, at this point, very, very easily.
I just hated it. All I wanted to do was eat them. But basically, it's soul-crushing stuff, doing these fundraisers. And you never think you're going to get stuck doing it again as an adult, especially as a badass Marine or someone in the military. Not the case. Chaps, did you ever have to do fundraisers for your military balls to lower the ticket prices and stuff?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean, we did car washes when I was in Okinawa. We actually did one in Okinawa because we worked in the munitions areas that was also had pineapple farms. They would legitimately, quote, farm us out to the pineapple farms to go cut the pineapples off the fucking bushes.
That sounds like it's actually kind of fun, though.
But I mean, it's like free labor. It's so not right. It's crazy.
It's not fun at all. Those things are prickly as hell.
Yeah.
We had to do
Quite the experience, maybe.
San Diego Bay, the speedboat races. They would have these cigarette boat races, and everybody would pull their cars and their RVs right up to the water's edge. They made us run in PT gear in the sand, in this like thick ass sand, with our Kevlars out, pandering to people for money, to put money in our Kevlars.
That's
and
terrible.
we had to. They
So
made us
sad.
do 1, 2, 3, 4. They made us like do the chants as we're running
Oh
along.
my God.
It was fucking soul crushing.
It sounds terrible.
The other thing we had to do, which in hindsight super shady, one of our higher ups was friends with a contractor who built barracks and stuff, who had like government contracts. On the weekends, there would be a white van outside our barracks at like 3:30 in the morning. You better be up in that van and driving out to 29 Palms from Camp Pendleton so you could help. We had hard hats, the dust masks, and we'd be cleaning up construction sites of government contracted barracks.
That's wild to me. That is wild to
And
me
it was
that they
like-
can make you guys go do that.
And you got like $10 off your ball ticket if
Yeah.
you did it.
And everybody in the van knows that it's fucked up, but
Right.
nobody can say anything.
Right, you really
because
can't say
it's
no.
like, do we suck it up and do this for 8 to 10 hours, or is Gunny going to be pissed at us for the next 6 months?
Right.
Like, it's one or the other.
Right.
So we reached out on social media at ZeroBlog30. You can follow us Instagram, Twitter, and check out our YouTube, by the way.
By the way,
What?
I don't remember ever having to do any of this stuff.
Well, you're an officer,
shocker.
so you wouldn't know. But we reached out asking other people what common fundraisers were. And the most common answers we got were pulling security, concessions, garbage, and crowd control at pro sporting events. Our own social media guy, Kyle, at Son of a Gun with 2 N's, we would get rented out to do Chargers games at Qualcomm Stadium. That stadium's a dump hole, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
We'd stand by the seats, and people would ask where their seats were, but we had no fucking clue. The Raiders-Chargers game was the worst. Had to buy our own uniforms and drive ourselves.
So
He had friends that verified this.
with this one, this is kind of crazy to me for the Chargers to rent out Marines to do this sort of thing. Granted, security and ushers helping people to get their seats, it's not brain surgery, but I have to imagine there's some sort of training or protocol that has to be followed, that you can't just have people coming in willy-nilly game day and have them do it effectively.
Oh, yeah.
Evident by what he said.
One of Kyle's friends replied, yeah, some lady asked me where her seats were. I said, I have no idea. I don't work here. So she was shocked and looked at me and said, what do you do then? I quickly replied, I've been protecting America since 1775.
That's a great response.
That is a great answer.
Along a similar vein,
And he tweeted the picture of Gomer Pyle from Full
Just
Metal
staring.
Jacket, just staring into the distance.
just dead inside. At Frenchman3 said, got voluntold to work security at Lollapalooza in 2015. And this is, again, these are people doing this to just save a few bucks on ball tickets.
Right.
And they don't have a choice. So got voluntold to work security at Lollapalooza in 2015. Checked fences outside the festival for 16 hours with a single 15-minute break. The unit supposedly got $50 per Marine. Oh, and we didn't get entry to the actual festival to see any performances.
Ah, that's such a bummer.
This makes me laugh because remember this year at Lollapalooza, all those kids stormed the fence?
Yes.
I wonder if there was any Marines standing by.
They were just like,
"Fuck
yeah,
it,
go ahead."
Whatever. Trash Man at JP5811 said, picking up trash at a NASCAR track in Richmond, Virginia.
Yep. You know what? I guarantee you that was one of my Marines. Guarantee, because 5811 is the MOS code for MP.
Yep.
Richmond, Virginia. He probably got sent down from Quantico. Guarantee it's from my old unit, because we established that when I was the company gunny.
Going
that
down
they
to
would go down to Richmond and clean up, or they would go up to FedEx and clean up the tailgating lots after it was over.
Help me understand this. Where does the process start for this to happen, for someone to go to Richmond or to go up to one of these stadiums? Does someone reach out to your unit and say, hey, I need 100 bodies right damn now. What do you got for me?
Well, it's usually just like kind of the good old boy network where like you as a staff NCO or a young officer know somebody from a different unit, like an adjacent unit, like, hey, how did you guys get this nice ass ball? How did you guys afford to go to the Gaylord in fucking Washington, D.C.? Like, oh, well, we got this hookup where on 3 game days a year, we would send all the Marines up and they would clean and they'd give us a big chunk. We put that to renting out the ballroom. And you're like, oh, shit. Do you have that?
So the
number?
officers are like sipping their caviar. They're like, excellent. Yes, send them. Send those stupid fucks.
But the fucked up part is that you still, even if you're doing all that, the Marines are doing that. It's usually not the staff NCOs and officers that are doing it. And if you are, it's in a supervisory role, that the junior Marines are still paying like $50-$60 for their ball.
Right,
like
which is a lot. Which is a lot for someone at that rank.
And guys, I'm not done. I still got a couple more responses that made me laugh. At Rap Game, Dakota Fanning said, great handle, forcing us all to get jobs working in the kitchens at the U.S. Open and then making us donate our paychecks from the 2 weeks of work to the ball fund. These fucking kids had to work for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
And then donate their pay. Also, the course was like 3 hours from Lejeune, and we had to get our own transportation there and pay for our own food, and we couldn't drink the whole time. So they had to get themselves there, 3-hour trip,
Holy
so
shit.
6-hour round trip, pay for their own gas, their own food, their own everything.
I have a take. I have a sports take. I bet the San Diego Chargers left San Diego just because they were tired of dealing with Marines.
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
we got to get the fuck out of San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
We need to have somebody else. We need to get some LA
The Marines
people
are
in
taking
here.
bribes to move people to better seats because they're so hard up for
It was
cash.
probably whenever they moved from Charger Stadium up to LA, they probably had Marines doing the working party.
Oh, sure.
Put the lockers in the back of the truck, Marines.
Yep, absolutely. At Old Breed Bubba 3 said, making us chip in for platoon parties, and then they would never have the platoon parties.
That's demoralizing. Like, hey, what happened to that platoon party?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's happening.
I have a couple more, but these are so good. I love reading them. This one's actually...
Let's just do one more.
This one I actually really like. Had rifle qual in the middle of August, and our first sergeant brought a grill and a cooler of cold drinks to the field and sold us hamburgers and drinks. Sold enough that the ticket prices for our ball actually went down. And then
That's good.
Right.
Yes.
That's a good one.
last one, It's Mitchie said, I remember on 2 occasions that our first sergeant said, if you and your roommate pay $40, then you wouldn't have to field day that week, which is the full clean of your room. But your room inspection still needs to pass Friday. So basically, like, pay $40 for zero reason at all. And the only other one was...
That's inside the mind of leaders, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't even let a room be dirty for a week.
Right.
Right.
Like, for
It's
a
just
week.
crazy. The only other one was a bid to pie senior leaders in the face. Was a good one. That was T-Bart17 said that. I like that one.
That
Good.
one's fun.
Yeah, pay money, get to hit your leader in the face with a pie. I can hear an old timer being like, I would back in my corps never do something like that.
I feel like I
But-
do remember something like that, seeing
Yeah.
something like that when I was in the Army.
So
That's a good idea.
yeah,
But just all of this, I didn't realize how prominent this was, that people would just be voluntold to do all these things for outside sources from the military. And then just, this is basically a racket. This
Oh
is
my God,
terrible.
for
It's
sure.
Such a racket.
Oh, if you have, like, a legitimately good base general or something like that, high-level base leadership, and they find out about this, they shut it down.
Oh, right.
immediately,
Right.
'cause
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not,
yeah.
You can't make Marines work, or soldier, sailor, airman, Marine. You can't make them 2 weeks in the kitchen.
also I'm picturing
3 hours away from base.
The
That's
in the
outside
kitchen
of
On their
Liberty.
off day, no less.
the in the kitchen one blew me away too. Again, I love bragging the concessions lady. We had there's food handling issues here.
Right.
There's like health concerns.
There needs to be training.
Right.
Like, this isn't stuff you could just shove random people off the street into and
Yeah.
have them expect to do a great job. It's just, I don't know. This is just really, really crazy to
Crazy.
me that this continues to happen.
I want to see a 2020 on this. I
Yeah,
want to see a
seriously.
deep dive.
Exposed.
We're gonna get to the bottom of it. They're gonna be like a 30 for 30 type of thing on how you pay for a military ball.
Right.